Let's concentrate on this email message. One of the reasons this 3x5 rule, one of the reasons it works so well, in order for your message to have any kind of an impact, it first has to be read. Here's an interesting statistic. Came from a report that I'm going to share with you in just a minute from the Pew Research Center. Here's what they found. That 64% of us check email on our mobile phones. Now, we may not respond to them from our mobile phones, but 64% of us in business check email on mobile devices. Now, think about that email that I was talking about in the beginning of this example, right? The one that I printed off that was 2.5 pages long. For right now, just think about all that text that's written in the, I guess, the correct style that says paragraphs are 2, 3, 4 sentences long, and they're all structured. That made sense when we were typing out letters. But if we take this big, long email, which, by the way, is usually filled with reasons why we think they should buy, what do we know? People buy for their reasons, not ours. But if we take this email that's 5-6 paragraphs long and we condense it down onto a mobile phone, it's just too much. It's too easy to lose your place. This message simply isn't going to get read. And if it doesn't get read, there's no way that we can act on it. So what we're looking for are short, one-sentence paragraphs. I noticed that you were looking for blah, blah, blah. Or have you ever thought about blah, blah, blah? What we want to do is make this very, very easy to read on a mobile device. Now, I was telling you about that report from the Pew Research Center. They took a look at how do we respond to email? What do we do with it? And what makes people tick? Now, they came up with some pretty interesting facts right at the beginning. Here's what they found. Between you and me, I'm not real sure why they included this, but okay. 91% check their email at least once a day. Okay. I hope they didn't spend too much money to find this one out. But here's what else they found. 33% of email recipients open their email based on the subject line alone. Now, one of the things that I included in this course as a bonus download is a collection of email subject lines. Again, real world, time tested. These are proven to work. This is actually my go-to list. When I'm trying to reconnect with somebody, 22 email subject lines to get your message opened. So 33% of email recipients, they open the email based on the subject line alone. Let me stop right there. Let me ask this. How much thought do you put into the subject line of your email? Some people might say, I put a lot in there. Here's some common mistakes that I see people make. Adding their company name to the email. Saying, XYZ company is famous for, or companies turn to XYZ company when. We want to make these messages about them. The people that are opening their emails are thinking about what's in it for me. And if we roll that idea back to the purpose of the headline is to get them to read the next line, take a look at the bonus report that I added inside this course. 22 email subject lines to get your message read. Now, this wasn't all the information that they came up with in this report. So here's another one. 64%, now we've already talked about this, 64% of individuals read their email on a mobile device. Here's an easy way to separate yourself from the competition. Amateur salespeople, your competition, are out there typing emails as though they were letters. They're not. They're emails. We want to deliver short, single sentences. Not only that, as it turns out, we're addicted to checking our phones. 58% of smartphone users don't go more than an hour without checking their phones. This is an engaged audience. You know what? When I first read this, I was thinking, gosh, that seems awfully high. I don't know. As I was checking my phone. Now, again, we may not reply to messages on our phone, but we certainly browse our emails and see what messages are coming in. They also took that a couple of steps further and they looked at some demographics. They said, okay, who's checking their phones and how many people, where's this number coming from? The interesting thing was, all right, the demographics 18 to 34, sure. We expect the younger generation to be spending more time with technology on mobile devices. But one of the other things that they said was that even in the age bracket of 45 to 54, it's 55%. So again, we're talking about a very engaged group of people. So let me ask you, the messages, the emails that you send out that are hopefully designed to get people to reconnect with you or to take that next logical step, are they easy to read on a mobile device? Couple more things here. They found that adding video to emails boosted open rates by 13%. So imagine putting in the subject line, quick 2-minute video, or just in brackets, video, and then your subject line. They said it boosted open rates by 13%. Not only that, it improved conversion rates by 21%. Now in sales, we all know what conversion rate means, right? How many people actually buy? What does that mean as it relates to email? Well, here's what that means. That as a result of getting your message, they went and did something. So let me ask this. The emails that you send out right now, do people go do something as a result? Here's an easy way to do it. Improved conversion rates by 21%. So here's what they come out with. Video in your email, it changes everything. So here's what I'm going to suggest. Let's put some go do in your message. If readers are 21% more likely to act on an email when it includes a video, are we doing it? Easy to do is easy not to do. And frankly, when I first had a chance to read this report, I said, can't be that high. Something doesn't match up. So I reached out to a coaching client and I said, hey, I'd like to run an experiment. I'd like to include an email that has inside of it a video that we're going to post on YouTube. And as a result of people watching that video on YouTube, it's going to drive them to your website. What do you think? Okay, so I crafted the email. I put together just a real simple, I think it was 2-minute video on YouTube. And at the end of that video, we drove people to the website. Check this out. These are actual live videos on YouTube right now. And depending when you're watching this, the numbers are obviously going to be bigger. But these are quick, it looks like 1 minute and 25 seconds. Basically commercials about what it is this person sells. In this case, health insurance. Look at the number of views here. These videos were up for 3 months. By the way, it cost nothing to produce, cost nothing to host on YouTube. We added them to the emails inside and people clicked on that and they were brought to this video. This first video, over 7,000 people watched it in 3 months. The second one, over 12,000 people watched this video that was inside that email. Now, I'd love to tell you that the reason that these results were so high, I mean, more than 12,000 people in 3 months, that's pretty darn good. I'd love to tell you that the reason was because we wrote such a great email. Well, not really. The fact is, and a lot of people don't know this, is that YouTube is actually the second largest search engine out there. You take all the requests for information. Now, we all know Google's number one. But every single time somebody's looking up something on the internet, Bing, Ask, Yahoo, AOL, all of those guys combined don't get as many requests for information as YouTube. That's incredible. Your competition, I can almost guarantee you, is not taking advantage of this very simple technique. 1 out of every 2 internet users is hitting YouTube every single day. That's a lot. Now you might be saying, well, Bob, I don't. That's okay. 1 out of 2. World's a big place. Let's wrap this up, do some lessons learned. I don't get to pick what you take away from these sessions, but if I did, here's what it would be. When you follow a formula, you take all the guesswork out of the equation. We want to make it easy for people to connect with the messages that we send. Specific, repeatable actions that produce predictable, desired results. That 3x5 rule. We want to establish credibility, spark curiosity, include a gracious call to action with a clear next step. And what do we know? 64% of the people that we're trying to reach are reading our messages on a mobile device. If you want people to connect with you, then you got to connect with them. Let's take all the buzzword and jargon out of our emails. Let's keep them easy to read and invite them to join a conversation to learn more about what it is that we provide in a way that doesn't set off all the alarm bells, that they can easily go get some more information about. And we're going to let them know, hey, as a result of me sending you this email, I'm going to follow up at this date at this time. I hope you got as much out of this as I put into it. These are some time-tested, real-world techniques that you can load into your business regardless to what you sell. I can't wait to see you on the next session. Good selling.